Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is USA Global TV and Radio, and I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. And our show today is Take Steps and Kick IBD. It's that time of year when I start celebrating and promoting the fact that I am a team captain in the 2026 Take Steps Walk that is taking place May 16th, 2026, not 2025. Sorry about that. And it's at Citizens Bank Park. So let's get into our conversation for today. What is the Take Steps Walk? The Take Steps Walk is a way for people to come together, a community of people who are like-minded, who are interested in helping bring awareness about IBD, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease. These are debilitating, incurable diseases that people live with day in and day out. And I am actually a patient. And so I will tell you a little bit about my story. When we come back from our break, we're going over to our sponsors. We'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover Holy but Harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives by Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck here at USA Global TV and Radio, and we are talking about the 2026 Take Steps Walk, sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. So before we went to the break, I shared with you that I am a patient. I've had ulcerative colitis since 1991. And I want to give you a little bit of a background because maybe you understand my passion in asking you to think about joining my team and a big and making a donation. We'll be sharing the link. So I wasn't feeling quite myself, and I got to the point where I really couldn't function. I was running to the bathroom, and I was bleeding, and it was very painful. And for those of you that makes you feel uncomfortable, I get it. But when you live a life like this, you just get used to it. And so sometimes I was actually running to the bathroom up to 50 times a day. The last time I had an ulcerative colitis flare was last year. And it's interesting because right before that, I had lost my mother, and I had moved from Florida to New Jersey. I had no heat in my apartment for 2 months, and then my apartment was flooded, and I had to move into a hotel. So needless to say, there was a lot of stress, but I digress because we're going back to the beginning. So I said something to my mother back in 1991, and I confided in her what was going on, because there's not a lot of people that you can tell this story to without fear of being judged. Because when you are in that kind of pain and you're running to the bathroom, and sometimes, by the way, you don't make it. I have actually lost control of my bowels in public, and it is not pretty. So I confided in her what was going on, and we got a doctor's appointment at the University of Pennsylvania. And I met with Dr. Gary Lichtenstein, who is absolutely one of the finest people, an incredible physician, and someone who really saved me, I truly believe. And so I went on medication, and at some point it got to the point where it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't working, because this is an incurable disease, and it's a dis-ease. Okay, I am not a disease. I have a disease. And I had to go on steroids. And for any of you who've been on prednisone, it does a great job, but it has a lot of side effects, and it's very difficult to stay on prednisone. In fact, I've been told I cannot go on prednisone ever again unless it was an absolute dire emergency. So I continued on prednisone on my own, actually. I had a lot of prescriptions of prednisone, and I just did not want to deal with the fact that the disease was getting worse, and they wanted to put me on biologics. And so fast forward, I don't even know how I managed to continue doing what I was doing, because I worked in corporate and I traveled the world. I had to fly a lot. I was entertaining clients. And so the disease started managing me. And if you've seen any commercials about this, it's really true. I just started giving in to the disease. So I started changing my schedule. I wasn't socializing. I felt very isolated and living in a state of constant panic and fear. And the fear was to leave my home. If I left my home, I don't know what could happen, because I had the inconceivable happen, where you were sitting in a restaurant dressed to the nines and you completely and totally lose control of your bowels. I want you to think about that. And you can judge me. And if you do, guess what? Good for you. It's on you, because you don't know what it's like. And the people I was with at the table, they actually got up and left me. They left me sitting there by myself because they were so embarrassed. And I will never forget that. I've forgiven them, but I've never forgotten it. And so it gets to the point, at least for me, where I just stopped doing anything I didn't have to do outside of my home. Now, I still had a career. I still had to go to work, but I was lucky because I worked from home. And so when I had to travel, what I would do is I would starve myself. I would not eat, because I knew I had a window of time to get the disease at least to the point where it was manageable. And if at all possible, I would not fly. And so I remember thinking that I was really outwitting the disease, that I was really, why didn't anyone think of this before? But if you think about it, starving yourself, isolating yourself, as I was doing, it's not a good move. But yet this is what I did. And I remembered I had a conference that I had sold, and it was in Panama. And I had to be there for 18 days. And just the fear and trepidation in knowing that I was going to be in another country and that this was going on and that there was no one to help me, It was terrifying. So I had to sit at a table. I always jump in with the staff and welcome clients, and we were really long hours. And so what I ended up doing was I was just eating pizza. It was just this dough with some cheese and very little red sauce and drinking water. And that's really how I existed for 18 days. And I'd have to keep running to the bathroom and explaining myself. And it was just not a great way to go. So fast forward up until 2018, I was in another flare. And I think I was at my lowest of low because I just felt so different and wasn't really sure how much longer I could go on living like this. And a friend said to me, I'd like you to meet someone from the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to meet anyone. I don't want to like put it out publicly that this is what's going on. And he said, no, this person's a patient. And I was like, oh, wow. So the meeting was going to be in 3 days. So, of course, I starved myself for 3 days and just drank water. And by the way, when you do that and you're already losing weight, I had no energy. And I drove to this restaurant to meet this person. And I sat down. And, of course, I'm a nervous wreck. And the first thing I said was, I just want to explain to you that I may not be able to sit here very long and I may be running to the bathroom. So I can't eat anything, I can't drink anything, and I don't know how long I can stay. And he said to me, I understand. I'm a patient too. I know what it's like. And it was like just sitting there in that moment that someone actually understood me, because throughout my career, I had heard things from well-meaning executives. Well, can't you just take Pepto-Bismol? Aren't you just sick in your stomach? Is it food poisoning? Do you think you willed it on yourself? Do you think that you're too stressed out to do this job? Do you think you still have the energy to do this job? These are the things that I heard over and over again. And of course, in the dating world, I heard, oh, you're disgusting. That's dirty. Like I would tell people, oh, I have ulcerative colitis because I thought, let me tell them up front and see if they stick around. And in almost every case, they didn't stick around. So it was really a very challenging time in my life. And yet fast forward to meeting this person that I never met before, I felt like I was finally seen for the first time, that someone could relate to what I was sharing. So as a result of that, he invited me to an event. And I went to the event, and I'll never forget, the event was, I don't think it was at Citizens Bank Park. It was one of the other stadiums. And I remember seeing Dr. Neil Nandi there, and I didn't know him. And he came over and welcomed me. And I thought, oh my gosh, first of all, I'm thinking I'm at a stadium. You know how big a stadium is? Like, where are the bathrooms? That's all I kept thinking. And so Dr. Nandi just made me feel comfortable, explained where everything was, brought me in, showed me places to sit down if I needed to, connected me with people. And immediately I felt welcomed by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. So I want to give a shout out to Michael Traeger, who was the person that I met for the very first meeting. And he at the time was the president of the Crohn's Colitis Foundation, and Dr. Neil Nandi, who is amazing. So they welcomed me in, and then I started volunteering. And I met Dawn Halsey, who's incredible. And she welcomed me in. And all of a sudden, I found a family of people, Emily and Paul, welcoming me into this community where I was actually seen as a human being instead of a disease. So if any of you are out there and you have ulcerative colitis or you have Crohn's disease or IBD, I want you to know you're not alone. And I want you to know that the Crohn's Colitis Foundation, they have offices all over the world. In fact, when I was just in Vienna, I walked by a building and it had the Crohn's Colitis Foundation, and it brought a smile to my heart. So it's a place that's welcoming. So I am on the board of the Crohn's Colitis Foundation because I believe that together we can make a difference. And I'm also the captain of my own team, which is Dr. J's Colitis Crew. And the name might sound somewhat interesting, but I have colitis. And so it's a part of who I am. I can't make it go away at this point in time. There is no cure. But with the money that is raised by the Crohn's Colitis Foundation, we are always coming one step closer. And now there are so many options for patients. You don't have to go through what I went through. And I ask you not to do what I did. Don't self-diagnose. Don't isolate. Don't let the disease manage you. So I'm asking you, if you live in the tri-state area of the United States, that would be New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware. Why don't you join me? Join my team, Dr. J's Colitis Crew. And together, not only will we have a great time, because this year, the event, it's May 16th. It starts at 5:30 is the registration. 5 o'clock is the registration at Citizens Bank Park. So you can join my team, and we will be broadcasting live. USA Global TV and Radio will be broadcasting from the event. So it's a lot of fun. People come walking by and they see themselves on television and they love it. And then we have team members who are actually in the stadium interviewing different people. But essentially what happens is you come to the stadium, and then you'll walk around the inside of the stadium where there are different people who have set up displays of information and some giveaways. But if you're looking for some information about what the pharmaceutical companies are doing, if you're looking for information about holistic options, there will most likely be people representing those entities, and you can get more information. And the best thing is you develop new friendships. It's a community of people. And you'll see, and to me, this is so heartbreaking, you'll see very young children who are diagnosed with Crohn's and colitis and IBD. And they're so strong because when we're children, we are not tarnished as we are when we get older. Like when someone said to me, "You're dirty, you're disgusting," when I was sitting at the Marathon Grill in Philadelphia, and the two people I was with left me at the table. It's not the same way when you're a child. They're so innocent, and they have no idea what's ahead of them because there's no cure. Do we want children to suffer? Absolutely not. So I ask you to make a commitment to joining my team and or giving a donation. Now, for those of you who are suspect of fundraising, the money goes directly to the Crohn's Colitis Foundation. It does not go to me. There is a link on Facebook, which you can go directly to, and you can make your donations there. And each of the charities, to my understanding, are actually rated on how much of the dollar goes to the actual research. So I don't know what the latest numbers are, but I believe they were in the 80 cents plus of a dollar that goes to research for every donation made for the Crohn's Colitis Foundation. So I'd like you to think about joining Dr. J's Colitis Crew and helping us kick IBD. If you are a patient or a physician or a caregiver or someone from the pharmaceutical industry or someone who is involved in holistic healing and you would like to be a guest on this show, you may certainly do so. You can go over to usaglobaltv.com, which I'll pull up now, and show you how you can register. And we would absolutely love to have you. So let me share my screen here. I'm also producing the show, so give me a minute. Okay, so you'll come to usaglobaltv.com, which I will drop into the chat, into the comments. Here it is. And I will share it on the screen. usaglobaltv.com. And then you can come over to here to book your session. And once you come to book your session, you can actually go to here, complimentary appearances for 3 interviews, and you can click on book your session. And then you can scroll down and you will find the opportunity for you to be on the show. We've got a number of shows. You just keep scrolling down and you'll eventually find it. So that's the best way that you can get involved, by being a guest on this show. If you would like to join my team, or you would like to make a donation, you can do so through Facebook. And I'm going to share that as well. And if you are not on Facebook, you can definitely send a check to the main office. So I'll share that information as well. So here is my Facebook page, which I'm going to bring up now. And you can go on there. Here it is. And you can go on here and you can find the link, which I will also share directly right now. All right, I'm doing that here. I have the link and I'm sharing it in the comments with you right now. So please consider joining my team. And please consider the fact that you are making a difference. And if you are a patient, if you are someone who is living with one of these incurable diseases, I want you to know that you're not alone. And I also want you to know that you are a productive person. You can make things happen. I can't believe all the things that have happened in my life in spite of or in cooperation or not with this disease. So ulcerative colitis has tried to break me, but I'm in charge. It's no longer happening. So we can't control what happens to us, which brings me to present day today, January. My apartment was flooded again by the same unit upstairs. So I have said to myself, because I think to myself, it's actually a year later from when it was flooded last time and I had to move into a hotel. And I was so sick. I can't tell you how sick I was with ulcerative colitis. And I've said to myself, I willed myself to get better. I did not go on steroids. I did not go on biologics. And I willed myself to get better. So now I'm willing myself to stay healthy. And that creeps up in my head all the time. I'm like, oh no, is it coming back? Is it coming back? But we have to get out of our heads. And a good way to do that is to think about helping other people. I ran a support group for years for the Crohn's Colitis Foundation, and other people are now carrying the torch, which I love. But you can see here in the photographs around me, you can see here is my mother. She was my biggest supporter. She's since passed away. And here's my mother and my brother-in-law. And here is my great niece. And then, of course, me, and then my mother and me at the gala. And then my mother here in the Fly Eagles Fly at the stadium. This is my mother with a greeting card. I made her a hat. I just put things on it. And it has a poo hat on it. It says, "This too shall pass." And then, of course, my sister and my mother here. And then this was me at the Take Steps ceremony. So it really is a family, and it's a great place for you to come and feel safe and feel loved. And I hope that you will consider becoming part of my team, and or can we please focus on the and making a contribution. Our goal is $3,000, which usually it's a lot higher. I'm sure it's going to be going up, but it takes contributions from people like you and people like me, and together we're making a difference. When I think about 1991 and the options that were available for patients versus what's available today, it's huge. It's a huge shift. And so we can be part of the next shift, giving patients options. When you see children who are diagnosed with these diseases, it is heartbreaking, because until we come up with a cure, what can we do to give them a quality of life? It's tough when you're a kid. There's so much judgment. And I wrote a book about judgment, but think about being a child diagnosed with ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, how the other kids are going to treat them. We have to find a way to raise awareness and raise money. And my suggestion is the Take Steps Walk and you getting involved in the Crohn's Colitis Foundation. Whatever I can do to be of assistance, please do reach out to me. I think I put my contact details here. No, I didn't. That would be helpful. This is what happens when you produce a show yourself and you're also hosting it. So let me just get my banner, and feel free to reach out to me. And also, we do have the link for you to go ahead and contact the Crohn's Colitis Foundation so that you can either make a donation and or join my team. Again, it's Dr. J's Colitis Crew. And the event is May 16th, starting at 5 o'clock for registration. And now my link is available for you to reach out to me. All right. Thank you again for being here. I really do appreciate it. And a big shout out to the Crohn's Colitis Foundation for having this event and for the opportunity to serve. I really do appreciate it. All right, we will be back next week with another episode. Until then, stay well, stay safe, and do reach out if we can be of assistance, and also to join me and Dr. J's Colitis crew and have the whole stadium, Citizens Bank Park. Imagine having it all to ourselves where we can walk around. We can actually walk right there on the field. It's amazing. All right, I'll see you again soon. Thank you. USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram-Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to tracycramperkins.com. Tracy Cram-Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.